Hey everybody, it is Heather Coley and Zoe here with Real Estate Life and Lessons Learned, and today's video is going to be all about contract deadlines. And the title of this video is Don't Ignore Contract Deadlines. And I'm doing this video because I feel a lot of frustration coming from my fellow peers that are in real estate, and I know myself included, where we are all experiencing a little bit of, I guess you would say, agents that just ignore deadlines. And so the purpose of these videos are really to help make you the best agent you can be. And when you're first starting out, you know, the best thing to do is get started on the right foot. And the more great agents that we have out here that really understand real estate and protect their buyers and sellers, the better we really all are. And so let's get right into it. So yeah, I have not figured out exactly what's really going on, but it seems like in the last few years, we've seen a whole lot more of it in the industry. And I'm not sure if agents are just not being properly trained on the importance of deadlines, timelines in the contract, or if they have been trained and they are maybe overwhelmed because they're getting so many offers and they just don't know how to handle it, or perhaps if they think it's just a suggestion. I haven't figured out the mindset yet of the agents that are doing this, but it is something that I believe is very important. To the deadlines of the contract or the timelines are so important. Those can get your client in so much trouble if you are not paying attention to them, and they are just so important. So I wanted to make this video just so that hopefully anybody that's watching it will just be a lot more aware of your timelines, deadlines. So the first I want to talk about is, so you took the buyer out as the buyer's agent and you've looked at 20 houses and you finally found the one that check marks all the boxes and they're super excited and you're ready to write the offer. So you start getting all the details of the offer, you know, what kind of loan, you know, and you even talk with the lender, get them to run some numbers so that you know, okay, are you comfortable with this payment? You know, what about closing costs? Or how much are we going to ask the seller to pay? Are we going to ask for a home warranty? How long of a due diligence period or inspection period do you want, you know, to write up? I mean, there's a lot of details and work that go into putting an offer together. And so you spend all that time putting the offer together, and you've got your buyer thinking about, you know, when's a good closing date. I mean, they're really getting in the mindset that I'm buying a house. And so then you submit the offer to the agent. And I always like, when I submit the offer, to make sure that I put in the subject line, maybe even in all caps, you know, offer for, you know, 123, you know, Jones Street or whatever the property address is. And then I also like to call the agent and let them know, hey, I just sent you an offer, or I just emailed you an offer. And if I have to leave a voicemail, then I'll text them and see if I can make sure that I'm telling them that they have an offer in their email. That way I know that I've communicated that that offer is with them, because there's a time limit on the bottom of the first page in our Georgia real estate contracts, where we as an agent and a buyer decide, okay, how long do we want to give that seller to respond to us? And, you know, there can be different ideas and different, you know, things that you might do on different offers. And so for instance, I would say like 24 to 48 hours should be plenty enough time for a seller to respond to your buyer's offer. But what amazes me sometimes as a listing agent is sometimes I get offers in that literally will expire in, say, 3 hours. And I'm like, what in the world? I mean, my seller's at work. There's no way we can respond that fast. And so a lot of times I have to communicate with that agent to say, hey, can you resend this with a little bit longer of a time frame, a time limit, because I don't think we can do that. But that is the kind of communication that you have to have with agent to agent. And so when you send over that offer, your buyer is excited, and they in their heads they are anxious to know an answer, or, to find out, are they going to counter, or what is going to be the reaction of the seller. And so when it has gotten really frustrating where when I'm communicating with the other agent at times, a lot of times they won't even respond to me to even say they received the offer. And that's frustrating. But when they do say they have received it, and then time starts ticking away, and say you've given a 2 o'clock, deadline of the next day for them to respond, and it becomes 1:45 and you still have not heard anything, I mean, you and your buyer are wondering, like, what in the world is going on? Why are we not getting a response? And so the buyer in their head starts thinking all kind of things of, are they waiting and holding out for another offer to come in? Are they waiting for a showing to happen? And yes, they might be doing all that, to be honest. I mean, that's just how it goes. But I guess what is more frustrating than anything is when that time limit goes by and I'm not getting any communication back from the listing agent. They have not said to me, hey, my seller's at work. We're trying to, they're wanting to, get together with their spouse to talk about this. I mean, there's just no communication. And that is where it becomes rude, because I just think that it's just not good agent etiquette to just ignore another agent's efforts and the buyer also. And so if anything, please communicate with that agent to let them know that you're waiting, that you as the agent are waiting to hear back from your seller. The thing to know, though, is once that deadline is passed, so say it was 2 o'clock and now it's 2:05. Well, technically that offer is not even an offer anymore. It's actually practically a dead offer. So, that's something to know. They cannot just now accept after the fact, because then that doesn't make sense on the deadlines. So, you want your client to be protected. So you are going to need, if that timeline has went by, then you're going to need, to resubmit another offer with a new timeline on there, because to really protect your buyer in that contract. So it's so important to really be communicating. And I'm speaking from experience of, having to deal with this a lot. And I see all the frustration of other agents, on social media, where they feel like that agents are just ignoring the whole time limits now. And so it's very frustrating. There's other time limits in the contract that are so important, like due diligence, or like when earnest money is deposited. And then you've got your appraisal contingency, your financing contingency. If you are not keeping up with these deadlines, you're going to get your buyer in trouble. So make sure that you are really paying attention to deadlines, because they are so, so important. But be sweet. Please be sweet. And if you're that listing agent, please pay attention to that time limit that buyer and that buyer's agent have given you and your seller, because it just is so important to stay professional, communicate, and be somebody that other agents want to work with. And that's so important in this business. I wish I could communicate that in such a way that you could really, really understand. But your relationships in this business with the other agents they are so important for your client. So just always remember that. And so I hope this video helped you learn a little bit and helped you to maybe to understand a little bit the frustration of the buyer and the buyer's agent, so that you can be more aware of those deadlines, timelines, and so everybody can get to the closing table. So if you learned something, please like this video. Please think about subscribing to my channel. And until next time, thanks guys.